Namaste. I want us to sit today with our thoughts, or actually, not our thoughts. Pema Chodron has a great quote that says, "Feel the feelings and drop the story." You know, in times of great stress or a difficulty, it can be very easy to focus on a worry or a fear and allow that to blow up into a whole scenario or a whole scene. This practice is going to help train us to focus on our breath, to concentrate on our breath. And as we do this, we're making a choice between looking at our breath or focusing on our thoughts. And this gives us the opportunity to choose calm over chaos. And the practice, both when we're sitting, taking our seat for meditation, and in life, our practice is in the constant starting over, right? Like it's not like you exercise and you do one bicep curl and you're set for life. I've tried that many times, it doesn't work. So it's the same with this. You're constantly in practice and you're constantly starting over. Michelangelo was once asked like how he would carve an elephant. And he said, I would take a large piece of stone and just chip away everything that isn't the elephant. So when we sit and when we practice concentration and we practice being present and mindfulness during our meditation, it's something like learning to recognize everything that's not the elephant. It's a continual letting go of that which is non-essential or distracting in that session, in that moment, at that time of sitting. And when we're practicing concentration and a thought arises in the mind, which it will, whether it's a memory, a plan, a comparison, a fantasy, we simply let go of it. So we could call this practice all, acknowledging, labeling, letting go. Acknowledging that something other than the breath is happening, labeling it, this is not the breath, and then letting it go. And we release these thoughts or this feeling not because we're afraid of it or because we can't acknowledge it or bear to acknowledge it as part of what's going on, as part of our experience, but because in this context, in this moment of sitting, it's unnecessary. So we're going to sit with that for a few minutes. Nothing terribly crazy, but I find that it's a comforting thing actually to do. If you're scrolling through your phone, through your feeds, or watching the news, and your mind starts to kind of go down a path, it's good to stop, just look at your breath for a few moments, and then maybe let that calm take over and that chaos sort of subside. So close your eyes. Find your comfortable seat. If you're in a chair, maybe your feet are on the floor. If you're on the floor or on your couch, cross legs might work. You could even do this lying down, but maybe knees bent, feet on the floor. And this isn't a breath exercise, so you're not trying to shape the breath. So just close your eyes. Take a deep breath in. And exhale. Again. We're letting our breath find its normal, natural rhythm. This isn't about the depth, the sound, the frequency of the breath. Let your attention come to the feeling of the in and out of the breath, at the nostrils, the chest, the abdomen. Just your normal, natural breath. Making just a mental notation that it's breath in, breath out. Or just abbreviate that. Or abbreviate. Breath, 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 breath. When a thought arises that takes you out of that, the ticking of a clock, the chirping of a bird, take your attention and simply say, not breath. 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 Whether it's the most beautiful thought you could have or the most terrible, just simply say, not breath. Don't get lost in making a story about what triggered the thought or its consequences. Just recognize it's not the breath. 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 See it. Recognize it. Gently let it go. We'll sit for just a few more minutes. And then take a deep breath in. Sigh it out. So this is a great tool, again, to do when you find yourself sort of going down the rabbit hole. It's very easy for us to land on a thought and build a scenario around it, whether it's the most wonderful thing in the world to happen or the worst thing that could ever happen. But the thing is that it's not happening. It's stealing you away from this moment. So, if you find yourself, again, kind of trapped on the news feed or in the news, and it's overwhelming and everything's just coming up, steal a few moments. Just takes a couple of minutes. And it can give you that peace of mind to get through whatever. I hope that this benefits you and is of some service to you. Namaste.